thank you to all of you who have voted for me as President of the Liberal Democrats. And for those who haven't yet decided how to cast their vote, you have until the 10th of November to get your ballot papers back to Cowley Street. But I thought it would be sensible at this point to tell you why it is that I stood for this position in the first place. I was out in the by-election in Earl's Court. It's a place that has been Tory since the days of Methuselah, but we won it. But I will tell you that on the doorstep, I and other people out there canvassing were frequently challenged by people who had heard news about the coalition from a hostile media, from the radio. We had to answer those questions, but we had been provided with nothing to tell us of the successes of our members of the coalition, of the liberal principles that they were managing to achieve. We knew a few of them: raising the income tax threshold. We knew the pupil premium was coming. But most of the other detail had gone completely by us, and I thought, look, this is completely inappropriate. It's unfair. We need to make sure that information is flowing to our members and to our activists. And that was a real inspiration for me to throw my hat into the ring as president. Also, in the other direction, I talked to friends up and down the country, and they felt, particularly when there were controversial issues, that they weren't heard by the leadership because there was no mechanism for communication. I decided too that that had to be another priority. And so it's the membership that are my concern. And as president, I want to follow in the route that Ros Scott basically made hers, which is going around the country, talking to the grassroots and to local parties, listening, making sure that our leadership in Westminster have to hear what is coming from our grassroots, their concerns and their views, and that those issues are answered. And again, to make sure that communication flows both ways. But I also had another reason for wanting to be president. I think it's really important that our parties stay unified. We have challenges from the Tories and from Labour and from the media trying to constantly tear us apart. And there are hard issues. Tuition fees has been a very good example. We have to keep our distinctive voice as a party, but we have to get across the message to the public that we understand that members in coalition will at times have to compromise. We didn't win, for example, the general election in 2010. And we have a voice, and a very powerful voice now, in Westminster. But we won't always have the policies we would have pursued had we been the government. And this will be compounded, I hope, in fact, after next May, when I would very much like to see Liberal Democrats in government in Scotland and in Wales. So holding the ring on that, keeping the party together, I think is vitally important. I fully recognise that this is pretty much a full-time job. It will mean travelling up and down the country, meeting you, which is the delight, frankly, of the job. It will also mean chairing committees, supporting our staff, fundraising, trying to create a much more diverse representation for the Liberal Democrats amongst councils in Westminster. There are a lot of roles involved in this. I know that it means when I go on the media, as I frequently do, that I will be speaking as a voice for the party, not just as a voice for myself. But you, Liberal Democrats up and down the country, have been incredibly generous to me over the years. You supported me in an election for the London Mayor, you supported me in my constituency, and this is my chance, in a way, to say thank you and to give back a little to the party that has offered me so much opportunity and so much excitement. So again, I hope that you will consider voting for me as President of the Liberal Democrats, and I hope I can join you on your campaign trails in the future.